Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 34 of Jux and All Things Sports Podcast. Not a lot of news coming your way today, but we do have two drafts to cover. We've got the giveaway for 20 subs, currently sitting at 23. And as always, we've got Wager Wheel. If you're listening on YouTube, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button. And if you're on Spotify, be sure to hit the follow button and drop us a review. Loyal listeners, those of you in the giveaway, thanks for listening. Thanks for following Twitter. We had Bittner like and retweet it right away, so I know that man had noties on. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in again. We'll try and start with some NFL. We don't have a ton of news, just a little bit of sad news, I guess. Would be a way to put it. I say with a little bit of a smile on my face. I don't know why. But Train, why don't you kick us off with what little MLB and NFL news you got?
Hassan Haskins from Michigan, arrested and charged with aggravated assault by strangulation
Hate to see
um,
it.
to his girlfriend. I believe she was also arrested as well. I think the story goes she liked an Instagram photo, or I think something like that, something social media related, and he didn't like it. I think he also pulled out a gun. Um, can't do that. And then I don't even know what she did. She did something as well. Um, so there's your football news. I did talk to Bark briefly before we started, and I think from next episode, what we'll do is kind of like how you did with our very first episode. We will start to do um, divisions. Two Shoe is right behind you on the wall.
Oh my lord, what is he doing?
Um, anyway, we'll do two divisions like NFC North and AFC North, and we will go division by division and kind of rank them, predictions, division order, how many wins, how many losses, and then maybe we'll get like a bonus show with MVP, Super Bowl winners, and Rookie of the Year and everything like that. We fit it all in the very first episode last year, and it was just football the whole time, and we've been kind of ever since other sports started, kind of uh, paying more attention, a little bit more to those, and spending time, not so much on football. So we'll spread it out this time. We won't have a whole show devoted to them, but we will fill the gaps as they come. Um, yeah,
And I believe we have confirmation from Nar that he will be back for football season.
we do have confirmation from Nar that he will be back weekly to go over football. Yes, I just completely copied what you said. Yes.
Good. Well, I was asking for confirmation. That's a good way
Yeah.
to confirm it. I guess to try and burn a little bit more time on football. Um, let's talk fantasy football sleepers. You might not want to reveal too much because a lot of our listeners are in the league as you. And if you
Yeah.
don't, that's fine. But are there any sleepers that you like this year that you're willing to give information on, or do you just
I
want me to
mean,
handle that?
I'm a guy that enjoys doing a mock draft here or there. Hey, I got nothing going on. I'll do a mock draft quick. I'll take 20 minutes out of my day. What I've been seeing is uh, Cortland Sutton falling fairly late. Um, you know, pretty close to the end of the draft. It's not a guy that I need on my team per se, but I'm seeing him, like you said, like a kind of a sleeper. I think by the end of the year, you can be in a flex position and you can get him third to fourth. Towards the end of the draft. Um, so I think that's a pretty good sleeper. Um, hmm. Alexander Madison. I don't know where you're gonna get him. You lose Dalvin Cook, and the guy, whenever Dalvin Cook was out, was basically a starter for any other team. So I don't see any difference in how the Vikings run the ball or pass it to him, as he was basically Dalvin Cook 2.0. Um, uh, Normally, you don't see rookie tight ends, and I'm not going to say Sam Laporta. Not going to say it, even though maybe I think it. You don't usually see rookie tight ends do very well in the NFL, just because it's a really tough position to get good at a different level, at the highest level. You got to block, you got to run routes, you got to pass block, run block. You're pretty much everywhere. You pretty much do everything. So it's the hardest position. But I think Dalton Kincaid from Buffalo is maybe like something last round where you're like, I don't see anybody else that I like, and you got your kicker and you got your defense, where you're like, yeah, I'll try him out. Also depends on if you draft the top tier tight end. So I think Dalton Kincaid, Alexander Madison, and Cortland Sutton are sleepers this year. I mean, big sleepers, just because you're not going to get them very high. Bijan Robinson, Bach, still going in the first round. He's a
Well,
rookie.
naturally.
Yes,
Running
that's
backs,
what I was.
rookie running backs are like the opposite of tight ends. Get them
Yeah,
while they're
yeah.
young and
Right.
fast and have less miles on them.
I was just thinking. I was just asking, what do you think about him if you were playing fantasy football this year? It stresses Bach out. He hates it.
Re-entered
Uh,
retirement, yeah.
yeah, he
I
re-entered.
mean,
What do you think about him being in the first round?
it's Bijan. He's on the Falcons, run heavy offense, obviously, because like you got Desmond Ritter at quarterback. I guess you got Drake London at receiver, but what other weapons do you really have? The other weapons they do have is arguably their running back room. Algier was solid for them last season. I know they had another guy who was pretty all right for him. But
Cordero.
again, lots to go around. I think it's a big risk to take in the first round with the first round pick. You gotta hit with your number ones. You gotta hit in the first round. I did last year. I just traded him away very quickly. Devonte Adams. Um, but you got to hit with your first round pick. You get a bust in the first round, it's going to be tough to live down. I don't think the bust potential is low. I think you're at least looking at a guy who's going to get goal line touches in that offense, even if he's not getting big catching yards, receiving yards, catches, big run plays. I think he's going to, at the very least, be a goal line dominant running back in that offense. So I think he's safe on that end. My favorite sleeper this year is tight end Greg Dulcich. I think he's one of those guys who, once that first tier of tight ends goes, like, the dogs, once the dogs go, he should be the first guy you set your sights on. If you don't set your sights on getting that lockup tight end early, that should be the first guy you look for next is Greg Dulcich. I think he's going to be good this year. I think the Denver Broncos offense is going to open up quite a bit. I know we see a lot of Russ cooking memes, but team loves him despite all the goofy shit about him. He's had past success. Maybe it was Pete Carroll. Look what the guy did with Geno Smith. But I don't know. I think the offense is going to be good in Denver this year, at least from the tight end production standpoint. I think Dulcich is a good, fun, late, safe tight end pick. I think he'll be a lockdown pick. In other news, Brock Purdy, 3 days ago, recently engaged. Thoughts, Train?
Recently got like engaged.
Yeah, 3 days ago.
Nice. Apparently
It's on his Instagram.
A bunch of Lions guys also got engaged this season. Good for him. Was it that were there good photos?
I can just see one right now.
Was it good?
Looks like a toy blonde. I don't know what else to say. Looks
A toy.
like they're on some lake, maybe an ocean. Um, but yeah, congrats, Brock Purdy. Got to do it in the off season, right?
No.
I mean,
After you win, like, the Super Bowl or the
Well,
NFC
yeah, but
champion.
they didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to do in the offseason in that case. Other news: Hard Knocks still looking for a team to take over. There's four that they can force to do it, but they don't really want to force someone to do it because it's more fun if someone willingly volunteers. They asked around the whole league. Everyone said no. They asked the Lions, like, hey, let's do it again. Lions said, no, we're good. Thanks. Lions were like the first team in a while to come out of Hard Knocks without being cursed.
Yeah,
All the
I
recent
mean, we
Hard
kind of
Knock.
did.
Yeah, but like, I mean, look at the Cardinals since they did midseason Hard Knocks. The Colts, the Raiders have been awful since they were on Hard Knocks. I
You
mean,
think that's why people aren't wanting to do it?
let's people say it's a distraction. And that's why they have the rules. Like you can't have a first year quarterback. You can't have a first year head coach. There's some other bullshit. I don't know, but it was Jets and three other teams. I think it's going to be the Jets because if you're going to force someone, why not force the team with Aaron Rodgers and the New York fan base?
That's what I was saying.
Do,
That's what I'm saying.
will there ever be a death to Hard Knocks at this point, or will the NFL? I mean, does it do well enough on HBO that the NFL will continue to let them eventually force teams if no one wants to willingly do it? I think this is. I don't. In recent history, I've never seen a controversy on this. Normally, it's just like, boom, this is our Hard Knocks team. And Lions fans were excited because as fans, you like to see the training camp. You like to hear about these UDFA's that you pick, these late round draft picks. Um, it made watching Malcolm Rodriguez break out even that much more fun because you watched him all through Hard Knocks and watched him as opposed to just, oh, who's this Malcolm Rodriguez guy by week 4 or whatever. You got to spend all offseason seeing him in practices and OTAs and whatnot. Do you think there will ever be a point where the NFL is like, all right, we're done forcing our teams to do this. We can't do it anymore. Hard Knocks is dead. Or do you think it'll just eventually turn around and people start doing it again? Or are we just in a continuous cycle now where the NFL is going to be like, nope, fuck you, got to do Hard Knocks?
I think we're in the latter there. Fuck you. You're gonna have to do hard knocks. Um, Maybe a little bit because of the curse, like you said. Um, People or teams just haven't been doing too well since then, and the Lions was an exception. And I'm also a little biased because I watched Hard Knocks last year. I think it started like before the season, so it gave me a little bit of football. I don't know, 2 weeks or so, maybe a week. I don't remember how far in advance it started or how far in advance it usually starts before the season, but it gives you that little okay, football's about to be back. Like I like Hard Knocks, but as a fan, why wouldn't you like Hard Knocks if any team? And my team was on it last year. I think they've got to go Jets. They probably made the most noise with Aaron Rodgers going there. Um, I think the Bears were also another team that were in there that kind of traded the number one pick. They did a whole lot of moves, got some, the big linebacker. Um, they basically paid an insane amount. It was Tremaine Edmonds, I think is what his name was.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, if they had to, now it's just coming to a point where no team wants to do it, and the NFL does have to select. And I don't see it ever getting to a point again where teams are saying, "No, I this isn't a disadvantage." If the Lions didn't want to do it again, there's obviously something that's not too fantastic about it. They asked the Lions. The Lions said no. Was it distracting? Maybe. I not for me. I loved it, but I think teams just want to not have all of their film and everything out there. Interviewing and I don't know, just being in the facility all the time. Now, is there people making YouTube videos for the Detroit Lions organization anyway? Probably. That's where my fan bias kind of comes in and says, "Aren't you used to this? Aren't you used to like all of this happening all off season?" But hey, I guess if a team doesn't want to do it, they shouldn't have to do it. But it's all licensed and stuff, so NFL can force them from now on.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the Jaguars do the hunt. which is similar. They post YouTube
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
but that's your own team's social media. It's really easy to go up and say, "Hey, don't put that in," or "Stop filming here." As far as I know, Hard Knocks kind of has a pretty much like, "No, fuck you. We're gonna put that in," or "We'll film here if we want to film here." And I'm sure they can't put recordings of the playbooks out there. Maybe they can, and it's just common courtesy not to. But the teams are there's a little bit of a difference between I think marketing yourself and theme of Hard Knocks is always look at this sucky team that's down on their luck and they're fighting against all odds, and maybe teams don't want to look like that in the off season. Maybe they don't want to always be the underdog story coming in. Maybe that was the Lions' point of view, doing it again. Like, no, like, yeah, you're right. We were Hard Knocks. We were 1-16 the year before, or 2-15, 3-3 and I don't whatever it
Close enough.
was.
There was like a tie.
And now you're 9-8, and I don't think you're looking like playoff contenders. I don't think you want to go on Hard Knocks and be like, oh, woe is us. Detroit kind of plays into the Hard Knocks with the whole Dan Campbell, gritty Detroit, but they don't play. They're not underdogs anymore. Maybe still a little bit. I mean, roster rankings had them behind the Vikings. I don't know how. Um, Position by position, I mean, you got to give me Justin Jefferson over Amon Ra, 1-1. Like wide receiver one, you got to give that to the Vikings.
Yes.
Quarterback wise, best case it's a toss up. I think a lot of unbiased people would say Kirk Cousins over Jared Goff. I love Jared Goff. I'd rather have him than Kirk Cousins. At least Jared
Depends
Goff.
on what day you play.
Well,
Or
at
on what
least
time you
Goff can
play.
play at 8 o'clock. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a guy who can play in prime time. But defensive wise, I mean, both defenses stink. I'd rather take the Lions defense. It's a little bit more promising with some upside. Outside of Justin Jefferson, I'd rather have the Lions receiving core, mainly because I think Marvin Jones is going to be a really underrated wide receiver signing for them. Offensive line wise, outside of Darisaw on the Vikings, it's Lions by a mile. Like Darisaw would start on the Lions line, but he'd probably be like the third or fourth best guy on the Lions offensive line, and he's the best on the Vikings. And tight end, I mean, you got to give tight end to the Vikings right now, just because we don't
Yeah.
know what Laporta is. Could he be better than Hawkinson? Very possible. I really think so. Very possible. I've heard a lot about Laporta. He's been looking good. A lot of people are saying he's a very strong candidate in that tight end class. Might even end up better than Kincaid. But right now, you got to give it to Hawkinson. But that being said, in running back room, got to go Lions. I know we were just talking about Madison potentially being a sleeper. But Gibbs went 12. And if he goes 12, he's got to be better than Alexander Madison. And then your backup's Montgomery. Their backup is, I don't even know, on the Vikings. I think they signed somebody. I think Nwangu's on there somewhere. But
I think Jordan Addison could be kind of cool for them.
yeah, yeah.
Wide receiver, but other than that, yeah, the roster rankings come out, and like I asked in the chat, what makes the power rankings from the Lions being in the top 10
Momentum.
to, yeah, momentum, coaching.
Yeah, like this
Uh,
is just rosters.
yeah, so it doesn't really bother me too much that we're in 17th, as long as we win the division or make the play. If we don't make the division at this point,
And if I'm not
uh,
mistaken, you're odds-on favorites to win the division, right?
yes, yep, we have been all off season. I'll check the actual odds to see if we're minus money like the Jags are, but I don't think so.
But regardless, I think the Lions are a little bit out of that underdog mentality. That I don't think they want to be in that hard knock spotlight, and I get it. I get it for them. Sure, it'd be as a fan, it'd be phenomenal. I'd love to have the Jaguars on Hard Knocks because it just means more behind the scenes content for me. But
Plus 130.
plus 130. But
Yeah,
for a team, I think it might be a little bit of a confidence killer. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. So we'll come back next week with
We
Um,
will. We will. More in
what do you want to
depth.
start with? NFC North and AFC North,
Yeah, probably.
and I go like wait this way. Wait, no, it's the same this way. So northeast.
North, south, east, and west.
Okay, we can do
That's
that.
just the way it goes in my head.
All right, perfect.
Um, Last piece of NFL news before we jump over to the NHL draft. Jameson Williams playing with some
Oh,
fireworks. I've seen split reactions on Lions Twitter. Beat writers going one way, fans going the other. Train, big deal or no big deal?
so I didn't see this.
Oh, you didn't see the video.
No, here, hold on.
Oh,
He was
man. I mean,
what?
he was lighting fireworks. It's nothing I haven't done a million times, but my hands aren't worth millions of dollars. It's just, you have Jason
Like
Pierre
big
Paul.
ones? Like
You
I only
have
see it from
Jason
the
Pierre
lights from
Paul
the parade.
incidents, and people start to get a little bit worried because it's happened. Was this bad? I didn't think so. I
Oh,
watched.
it was on his Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the video on Twitter, but and I mean, like, barring something going awful, it was like I don't know. He was lighting fireworks.
I mean, we don't have him for 6 weeks anyway. Might as well light some
Yeah, but
fireworks, right?
fingers don't grow back in 6 weeks.
What is his name? Justin Tuck, or that one dude that blew his fingers off?
Jason Pierre Paul.
Close enough. Yep, that one.
That's
I mean, he
firecrackers
still
though.
played.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
Firecrackers will get you. You light those
I don't
mops in
know.
your hand, you're supposed to throw them, but man, you got like
I mean,
3 4 seconds to
that's the
get that
stuff
bitch
that's gonna
off.
bother comp. That's the stuff that's
Yeah.
gonna bother comp. But me, I'm just like, I mean, his hands. Would I care if his hand blew off? Yeah, but it didn't. So like,
Yeah, but it could
enjoy
have. That's the thing. They
enjoy
could
your
have.
life. Like what do you expect these guys to do? Like that's legal. Gambling's legal. Are you just in a different life than everyone else? Like
A
yeah,
little
you
bit.
make a
A
lot
little
more
bit. When
money,
you're a
but
professional athlete worth millions, you are in a little bit of a different life. Yeah. I think
I don't
so.
know.
I think that's fair to say.
I think I've been really generous, and I'm not gonna stop at fireworks.
If my company was paying me millions of dollars to type on a keyboard, I don't think I'd be stepping near fireworks.
No,
I didn't step near fireworks, and I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to type on my keyboard.
yeah, because that's just you.
I guess. I guess. I don't know.
Bang,
I don't know.
bang.
I'm not against it. I just thought it was funny seeing the outrage on it. The guy can't catch a break with half of the Detroit sports fans.
Mostly schlump.
Mostly schlump. Let's move on to what has lately been a really awesome topic. There's been ups and downs. There was highs and lows at the draft. The Red Wings were going to get Cat, then they were totally out on Cat. Now they are all the way back in on DeBrincat. The Ottawa Senators really want to sign Tarasenko. Tarasenko really wants to go to the Senators, but the Senators don't have any money. They need to trade DeBrincat, who said he wants out. The Senators want a lot for him because he's a 25-year-old goal scorer. But it's hard to get a lot for someone who said, nope, don't want to be here, and he's got 1 year left on his deal and needs to restructure. Apparently, it's down to the Wings and the Islanders, I think. That could be false information, but that's where my mind's going right now. I really think the Wings are pulling this out. The question is going to be how much. People are thinking 2024 Boston Bruins first round pick. I think that's the dividing line right now. I don't think Yzerman wants to give up a first round pick. I don't think he'll have to. I think DeBrincat will be a Red Wing. I told Ham we were recording tonight, so we may get breaking news at some point during the pod. We're hoping it
When do you
happens tonight.
think? Oh, you think it happens tonight?
This was news that came out today because they want to sign Tarasenko. They want to get it done ASAP. They need to clear the cap space. And then the longer they wait, eventually Tarasenko might be like, fuck it, that's too much money to leave sitting on the table and sign somewhere else. So that being said, we were hoping for it to happen on draft night. Also, part of the reason we didn't record is because we were watching the draft. Big, big, big draft for the Red Wings. People thought, no way they use all the picks. Spoiler alert, they did. first round per typical Stevie fashion, shocks the nation, picks a guy that everybody had fallen later. For Lions fans, it was very, very much reactions of Lions draft night. Like, we love Nate Danielson, but they were like, could have got him later. But, then the draft ends up and it's like, oh, maybe we couldn't have gotten him later. Iserman got his guy. Shortly after he picked Nate Danielson too, talks started coming out. Connor Bedard, the number 1 pick in the draft, 17 years old, said that Nate Danielson was one of the toughest guys he played against. Elite skating ability, right-handed center, which was a huge position in need for us. Big critique he's been getting. Go ahead, Train.
I'm that kind of guy that talks about this when I'm not big into like baseball and hockey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good hockey name, dude.
Nate Danielson?
Yeah.
Just wait till I
Danielson
get to the next guy.
Oh no,
Because you love the next guy.
I love the next. All right, so I was actually watching the draft for people that actually know me on here. I was watching the NHL draft. Never watched one before. Didn't know why they all took their coats off right away, and then I was like, oh, they're going to put their jerseys on. That made a lot of sense initially. So my first NHL draft, and I had no idea what was going on. They all look like they're like 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually insane. But I think Danielson, at least, maybe not Nate. I don't know. But Danielson will look maybe kind of good on the back of a jersey.
Already does. And people were giving him a little bit of chirps for, I don't know how many videos you saw of him, like, very monotone.
Fireworks?
Not showing, no fireworks. Not showing much emotion. I mean, the kid's like 17, and you could just tell he's uncomfortable with the camera on him. Number one, it's hockey time. People are excited to be here, whether or not they show it on camera. Number two, the guy wasn't expecting to go top 10, and he did. He's happy going number 9 no matter where he was going. I think Nate Danielson's going to bang. I think he's going to be really fun to watch. I think we nailed on it. Now, number 17, Train, he was who you liked, who you wanted. Axel Sandin-Pellikka. You wanted him because his name was Axel. Phenomenal hockey name.
It's the only reason. Also,
Sandin-Pellikka.
What?
Sandin-Pellikka.
Sandin-Pellikka.
That's his last name.
Yes. So that's the only reason I actually wanted the Wings to draft him. And then the motherfucker walked up to the stage with The Show Goes On by Lupe.
Also facts. He's a big Lupe fan.
Big Lupe guy.
First name Axel, big Lupe fan. Can't go wrong.
Right?
He also...
That's all the only research you need done on him. If you're going to listen to us, that's what you're going to expect.
News out of their development threes camp. They did a big little 3-on-3 tournament. Apparently, and of course, he shined. He was phenomenal. People loved what they saw. We aced the draft. Second round, it was questionable. We went a lot of defense when we need a lot of scoring. But again, with the reports saying we're backing on DeBrincat, you've got to be excited. I love Trey Augustine at 41. I have a soft spot for goalies, which kind of helps. We could pick any goalie, and I'm instantly in love with him, and I'll be rooting for him. But the guy was a steal at 41. He's a Michigan State commit. He was an incredible goalie on...
Is that kind of like the same situation with the MLB?
Kind of. We have his rights.
Okay.
So he'll probably play at State. But he was on USA U18 team, goalie, behind a good defense. So there's a little bit of a question mark. Was it the defense wasn't him? But he also shined at the camp. So that's also good to see. And then we went Gibson and Brady Cleveland, both defenders. Questionable, but Stevie Y still has that for at least a little bit longer. We're getting our defense in 3 to 4 years is going to be incredible.
And we're getting Cat.
We have to get Cat at this point because we still don't know where goals are going to come from. And if you get that many defenders, Stevie knows he's getting Cat. Uh, Dower Nilsson took him at 73 in the third round. It's the last one I'll really go over because fourth through seventh, it is what it is. We did get Rudy in round 6, another backup goalie. He'll probably just be an AHL fringe starter, but it is what it is. Dower Nilsson was our first forward since Nate Danielson off the board. Good draft. We used all of our picks, traded back a couple times to get more picks, used those picks. Until the season starts, it's all eyes on can and will the Red Wings get the Cat, and we need him. We still need goals. They'll still be coming. But in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's easier to go out and buy goals than it is to go out and buy elite defensemen. So I like the strategy. Go out, draft big on D, figure out Cat later.
Nice. Yeah.
Along with that, we also had the NBA draft week prior. We were at a bar on Put-in Bay watching the number 5 pick. I pulled a ham. I couldn't wait any longer. I went on Twitter, went to Sham's Twitter, and I refreshed until we made our pick. Immediately heartbroken, and then I looked over and saw Ham eventually. I think he asked someone to tell him, or someone showed him or something, or he accidentally saw it. But then I saw him drop his head a little bit when he saw who we picked. We picked Oster Thompson, number 5 overall, immediately after Amen Thompson. Since I was upset, I have let Detroit Twitter hype me back up onto it. We got an elite defensive wing who's very athletic. A lot of his athleticism gets ignored because his brother is like 99th percentile athlete. He's like 95th percentile athlete. So, yeah, he's not his brother, but his brother wasn't available on the board. Looking back, I think it was the right pick at number 5. We'll see. I think he can slide to the 3, maybe the 4, depending on how far his athleticism takes him or where we need him. Train, thoughts on our first pick?
I kind of went over this, and I don't know if you were in the party. Who was it? I was talking to somebody, and there's always the shittier twin, right? There's one that's better, and there's one that's not as good.
Typically, yeah.
Asar has probably been the worst one, and when I say worst, I don't mean he's actually that bad at basketball because he got drafted 5 in the NBA draft, but he's not as good. So he's either going to have the mentality to prove that he's better than Amen or Amen or what, however the fuck you say it, and or he's just accepted by this point in his life, however old he is, 18, 19, 20, that he's just the worst one. And it's like a Marcus Morris and Markeith Morris situation where Marcus is just better, right? But our draft, we predicted that Cam Whitmore would have got picked at 5. He slid to 20. So I don't know if that makes me feel like, okay, maybe we were wrong kind of thing, or maybe we were right.
Maybe all the NBA
Yeah.
scouts were wrong.
Yeah. In that case, I really like the Rockets draft with getting the better twin with and the guy that we wanted, Cam Whitmore. So I can't say a whole lot. I haven't really watched him. He didn't play college ball, which is always weird for me to always think about that, as I never watched them in the tournament, never watched them, and it's always different. We see Jet Howard get drafted, and at this point, we were going to watch the draft for everyone listening um, in our condo. We just settled in, had the draft on the TV. Well, we had the
No,
channel.
oh yeah,
We had
yeah.
the channel on the TV for it to be all ready. Then we got we were persuaded in going out to the bar and watching it there, and there was no happy faces when we made our pick. Um, that doesn't mean we hate him. Just not expecting it, and I don't know if if it really elevates the Pistons to make the playoffs or even get 25 plus wins,
I think
30
we're gonna be. I
wins.
think we're gonna be so good, dude.
Oh no.
I think we're gonna be so good.
Does Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson um, make us so good?
And Jaden Ivey, and
Well, I know.
Sasser.
I'm just saying, guys.
Second round pick Marcus Sasser. I think is gonna be awesome off the bench. I think Bojan is great. Um, and we did get Joe Harris in a trade. I thought that was hype until I later learned on Twitter that he has since lost his 3-point shot, which is the only thing he could do. And
Oh,
then
sorry.
we still have this stockpile of centers that, like, two of them you can maybe call power forwards, but they're not stretch enough or athletic enough to guard play the four correctly in today's
Oh yeah,
NBA.
we just have centers. They're no power forwards.
Well, Bagley is a power forward. People won't admit it, but he is. He can be, and he is. Go play 2K. He's listed as a power forward. Always has been since draft night. But you
Yeah.
can't shoot a three ball, and if you can't shoot a three ball, you can't be a power forward in today's NBA. Apparently, James Wiseman used to have a three ball. They're trying to bring it back. Steve Kerr can't develop young talent, which is why young talent doesn't work out for Golden State. He ships it away and builds around his core. He wanted James Wiseman to be Zaza Pachulia. He wanted him to just be a rebounder and kick it back out to Curry or Thompson. You don't want James Wiseman to be some young new stud. I think we see steps from Wiseman. I think Ivy and Cade look phenomenal together. People forgot how great Cade is. And then you add in defensive versatility with Osser. Bojan, a little bit more spacing, hopefully, with Cade on the floor to get him some more open threes. Jalen Duren, another year of growth under him. He was 19 last year. I'm done with the beef stew. I'm done with it. You got to trade him somewhere. He's the one who I think is taking up minutes. And if you can find a spot for Bagley to try and maybe find an expensive power forward on an expiring contract to free up some space, I think that's the route to go. I think you stick with Duren. I think you stick with Wiseman. And then I like the young pieces you've got everywhere else, along with the veterans. I like Alec Burks. If we can figure out a way to keep Killian, I love it. But I don't know because I like Sasser more. And then you still got Isaiah Livers floating around, who's been great on defense and still has growth potential.
Yeah, our team is young as
I
shit.
think we're good. I think we might be good this year. I think we might sneak up on some people.
I hope we do. Don't get me wrong,
I
but
really think so.
I have the same confidence that I actually that's not true. I thought the Tigers were gonna be as bad as they are. I probably have a little bit more confidence in the Pistons strictly because I know a little bit more, and I think they're in a better spot. Um, Amani Bates, I'm just looking through here, um, goes to the Cavs.
Yeah, why not, right? Why not take a swing?
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of the Tigers, I don't know if you watched the game. You didn't watch the game, sure, at the Lugnuts game, but I watched the game.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with this team anymore.
Didn't we
And
get like two hits or
we
didn't
gave
get like
up. We gave up 2 hits
oh
and one walk, and we lost 1-0 against the Oakland A's in extra innings. They come up in the top of the 10th, do a sack bunt, move the guy over to third, and then Ryan Noda hits a single through the infield to bring in the run. We come up in the bottom half of the 10th. Our supposed genius manager doesn't think to also sack bunt to at least tie this up and dig into an awful bullpen depth of the A's. And when we have guys rested, no, he goes ahead and lets the bottom of our order just go ahead and swing the bat away. And lo and behold, shockingly, we couldn't get it done against the Athletics, who haven't shut out a team all year and have like a 6-team ERA. It's ridiculous. Spencer Torkelson had a rough game, 0 for 5. And I'm sick of seeing this on people's timelines, on my timelines, on casual Tiger fans' timelines. Chris Castellini has been harder on torque than most, and I like that. Because so many people keep going, he's young, you can see it, he's getting better, he's flashes of brilliance, he had the 2 home run game not too long ago. That's not the point. Can Torkelson still be something? Yes. Would I like him to? Yes. Am I rooting for him to succeed and be better? Absolutely. But when this guy got drafted, MLB analysts were saying he's can't miss. You put him in the Tigers lineup tomorrow, he will hit. This guy will get 40 hits a year. He is the best college bat we've seen in the last 20 seasons. This is a guy where even if he doesn't fit in at third base, which is where they drafted him, he'll just go to first, and he's just, you can't miss with him even if his fielding's awful because his bat is just that good. They talked about this guy like he was a 300 average 40 home run guy. 280 40 at least. And now Tigers fans are like, okay, don't be so hard on him. Like, if he hits 250, 25 bombs, are you happy? I'll take it at this point. But that's... And even 1-1, you look at other 1-1 picks, Mark Appel, Mickey Moniak, a handful of other guys who just never turned out at 1-1. Sure, I'll take 250, 25 bombs. But what scouts were saying on this guy was, plug him in tomorrow. He will hit. Now it's 2.5 years and you're still telling me to be patient? Guys on Twitter, professional MLB scouts told me this guy was ready to hit in an MLB lineup against MLB pitchers day one. Not just hit well, hit nukes, 40 bombs, 280. The kind of guy you put in your lineup and you are set. Now, he doesn't have protection. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's a mentality thing. But it's a college bat. If this was a high school bat and people were like, oh, this is the best high school bat since Mike Trout, I'd still be saying give him some time. Maybe we'll see. Still a little upset if he doesn't pan out. But high schoolers, you never know. You take a college first baseman, 1-1, the guy better be able to hit 30-plus home runs a year. Go ahead and look up how many college first basemen went number 1 overall. Go look how many first basemen went number 1 overall. 0 besides Torkelson. Doesn't happen.
You said we drafted him as a third baseman.
We did, but that was just Al Avila thinking he was cool. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
He never played third base at Arizona. When they came up to the podium and announced it, people were like, what the fuck? And we drafted the third baseman on his college team later in the draft, Gage Workman. He's arguably looking more promising than Torkelson right now.
It's calculated.
And the guy plays a decent first base even right now, especially with Javi throwing to him. But it's just, no, I won't be patient anymore. I was told that the guy could come up and hit right now. So he needs to figure it out now and soon, and I won't settle. If I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be patient for 280, 40. If he was hitting 250 with 25 bombs, then I'd still be sitting here saying, oh, just wait, Train, there's more to come. But now it's to the point where if he's hitting 250, 25 bombs, I'm going, at least we got that. That's probably it. That's probably best case scenario now. And that's why it's frustrating. No other first baseman. You only take a first baseman 1-1 because his bat is generational. Ready to go. Can't miss. And we missed. And I'm sick of it. That being said, Skubal comes back, throws 4 dominant innings. Tweaked something, but he's fine. The plan wasn't for him to go long anyways. Reese Olson pops in after him, Rule 5 pick. He looks phenomenal. Wipeout slider. And then Erod comes off the IL and pitches tonight. Really hoping I'm hoping he just goes right back to it. I went into your lineup to make sure you started him and took him off your IL when I got the alert, and you had him going, and I'm proud of you for that.
I have 4 starters running tonight.
We need him to just have like 2 or 3 fucking electric starts. Because if he stays under a 2.5 ERA and proves that he's going to do that for this season up to the deadline, and if it was still Al Avila, I'd be a little bit hesitant. I'd be like, just let him finish the season and let him walk for nothing at this point. But I'll give Scott Harris another chance to send a trade, see what happens. no one's got a starter like Erod available if he picks up where he left off. So we can get a king's ransom for him, which would be really fun for once in what is looking like it's going to continue to be another 4 to 5 year rebuild for this team. We got a couple exciting guys in the minors right now, but until I see a sign that Chris Ilitch is going to spend more than if Javi Baez and Erod were spending money, then we're toast. Then we're fucked. Because our system's not good. We're not the Rays. We're not the Astros. Astros had a great farm system and then locked down their talent. Same with the Atlanta Braves. They grow your farm system, and they traded for a couple of guys, then locked them down. A lot of these teams either built from within, or it could be the Mets. You could spend $380 million and still suck. Yankees are struggling, even though they spend a lot of money. But it's at least fun baseball. It's at least fun to watch. Now it'd be tough, but it'd be fun. A little bit more fun than watching Tyler Nevin and Andy Ibanez, and I don't even know anymore. It's we'll see. Should be fun to have Erod back. I'm looking forward to it. I think they start at 7:05. Seems like a pretty normal Tigers start time. But
Maybe
yeah,
I'll watch it because I have a pitcher.
I think we're fucked. I think it's another
Nice.
4 to 5 years before anything turns around.
Perfect.
And you got to give Scott Harris the reins for a bit. I don't think it's his fault. I just think we have to dig out of a hole. I don't think the Ilitches are going to spend money. Really excited for the draft. I'm starting to see rumors now that the Pirates are going to go Max Clark, high school outfielder, because they might be able to get him for cheaper. If that's the case, there's no way the Nationals don't take Paul Skeens, because it's just they got plenty of outfield depth in their prospect rankings. And if Dylan Cruz falls to the Tigers at 3, I'm going to be singing a whole new tune next episode.
Until we don't get him. Wait, when is it?
The 9th. So it'll be Sunday.
Sunday? Nice.
Sunday.
So I also saw something today, and I picked him up. Colton Cowser.
Yeah.
I picked him up.
He's on the Orioles, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure yeah.
I picked him up today, dude. Lots of moves. I'm 2-11 in fantasy baseball, and I'm not gonna lose another game.
You're kicking ass this week.
Yeah, because Logan Gilbert had a complete game. First one of the season for my team.
He's on the counter.
Shoot him.
Yeah, and it's ooh, well, I just got the Athletics just scored a run on the Tigers in the top of the first on a sac fly. But yes, draft should be fun. If we get Cruz at 3, it's gonna be wild. I don't know how I'll react. If we get Skeens at 3, I think I'll be happy. I'm a little nervous, but at the same time not. And if I don't get one of those 2, I want Max Clark at 3. A lot of people want Langford. I'm sick of taking power bats. Give me a toolsy guy. Give me a guy with tools. Don't give me a guy who just hits nukes. I'm sick of it. I'm done. That's kind of why I don't want Skeens. I'm sick of pitchers. The last toolsy guy we drafted was Riley Green, and look how he's turning out. Last power bat we drafted, Spencer Torkelson. Look how that's turning out. Max Clark or Dylan Cruz at 3, and I will be ecstatic. So let's bounce over to Wager Wheel first. We'll save the giveaway till the end. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
13 days.
Go ahead and recap us really quick. I'm going to push this guy off the counter.
2 weeks ago, we don't have it up in front of us. I think Bark either had home or away spread, and I had the other one. I think I took the Rays with McClanahan on the mound, and they lost, so I lost my first bet in a while. And I think Bark hit a bet. I think he might be back.
I did hit a bet.
I don't remember what it was.
I went ahead And
Oh, it was
I did what I normally
like
don't do because every time I've been betting on my fantasy starters, they get clobbered. And I almost didn't because of that. But then I said, no, fuck it. Blake Snell's been balling. He's been balling for me. And it worked. Blake Snell put up like a 30 burger for me in fantasy. He was dominant. Padres won like 10-1. And I'm still kicking ass in fantasy. A little bit of help this week from injuries. Mike Trout went down, and I'm playing Nicholas, who's also on like a 6-week win streak, same as me right now. So I'm hoping that helps. I don't want to talk too much shit because it's an extended week with the All-Star break. But it's looking good. It's looking good.
was that this weekend too?
Yeah, this is the first year they moved the draft back to the beginning of All-Star week. So it's
I feel
draft
like
and then
that's a good
All-Star
idea.
week. Yeah, draft was in June, and now it's like draft on Sunday, and then I think like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever is All-Star festivities. So,
Oh, nice.
but yeah, I've moved up to 6-7 on the wager wheel with last week. We got Train at 8-6, per usual. We'll start this rip off with you, Train.
Is it
First,
just baseball? Pretty much.
um, a little bit. You have MLB away money line. There is there is
Um,
a free pick on here, and then there's also golf winner. So
I hope you land on that one.
MLB away money line train.
Oh, I thought you pulled the same thing.
No. I was just MLB away money. No way, train.
Did you?
Yeah, I got golf winner. All right. Let's see what we got for golf this weekend. What do we have?
All right. Cubs money line at Brewers tomorrow, Thursday, July 6th. Let's go Cubs.
We got the John Deere Classic this week. You got Cubbies? You got Cubbies away money line?
Yep.
All right. Let me get it. Ooh, fun fact. I placed a Lakers NBA Finals future today
I saw that pop up.
because I
I
was
was
really
confused.
sick of watching their offseason because they just seem to get unlimited free agents for unlimited. The Pistons have like 7 million in free cap, and the Lakers have LeBron and AD on max contracts. They just signed Reeves to like a 4-year, $50 million extension. They've got D'Lo on their team. Either where's the Pistons money or where are the Lakers just able to continue to sign free agents? They signed Gabe Vincent for 11 mil a year. Like we gave Joe Harris 19 mil in that trade, and they're like, oh, there goes all of our cap space. Like what? Who are we paying that the Lakers aren't? They have two max guys on their team. It's ridiculous. It's just lining up for them to give Bron a little like it's last year in LA. We'll go give him a finals and then let him play with Bronny. Right? I just think the signs are pointing to it, so I'm taking it. That way, I'm either gonna be upset but make money, or I lose some bucks and the Lakers don't win the finals. So either way, I'm gonna be happy. Oh, we got a ugly field for a John Deere Classic, and I wish I had some insight from Ham right now, because he normally has some good insight on these. And I already have it narrowed down to 2. And
He
hmm?
gives you good insight on what?
Golf, Ham.
I thought you were.
I got
Did
golf
you?
winner.
Really?
I told
I
you
thought you.
that.
I thought you also had MB or MLB away
No,
money
because you
line.
were like, oh, I hope you get that when it was golf winner. And that's what I got. So I got the John Deere
Oh.
Classic.
Get fucked.
And I'm between my heart says one, my brain says the other. Well, and I say
Well,
brain lightly because I don't really. Well,
the three the three winners of the last 3 weeks have all used the same putter. All different people.
didn't
Keep
they
that in
all
mind.
start switching to it? I think I'm going to go. I think
The Odyssey or
I'm
some
going to
shit.
say, so officially, I'm going to say Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell's my wager wheel play at plus 3,500. I like Keith Mitchell. That being said, I just got to say the name so it's out there. Cooch is my second one. That's my heart. I think Cooch might make a little run for it, give people a little going. Um, so yes, the wager wheel pick is Keith Mitchell, but if you want to sprinkle a little Coocher, um, it might be an awful idea because I didn't do any research on this. I just picked it right now. Maybe go to Ham, see if he's got any picks for you. But Keith Mitchell, a little sprinkle on Kucher, but Mitchell's my wager wheel pick. That being said, we did a little giveaway for 20 subscribers on YouTube. We kind of forgot to post it over the weekend, but we got it out right away on Monday. I got back, realized I forgot, sent the tweet out, let it run for 2 weeks, and we got 7 contestants in the duck race. Oh yeah, it's a duck race. I wanted the fans to be a little bit involved in this, or at least be able to watch and go along with the chase. We'll see how long
So if
1
you're,
minute
so if we're
takes.
sitting in your pocket, if you're not watching and just listening to it on Spotify, you're gonna have to pull it up either on Spotify because we have the video on there now, or on YouTube because you want to watch your duck. And Box is gonna FaceTime me because I can't see this race.
I'm turning the volume all the way down.
All right, I'm also going to as well. So that's what's gonna happen. Get on YouTube, get on Spotify, but watch the next few minutes, and I hope it goes really well.
1 minute. We got 1 minute going. We got Chase, Bittner, Adam, Brendan, Justin Hughes, Justin Veltema, and Nar is in the race. We'll see what happens and what the fans think. If it ends up being Nar, as he's like kind of a guest, kind of not. But we'll see how the race goes. It's totally random. I thought this would be more fun than a wheel. So pull it out now. The race is started 1 minute long. Here we go. Oh man.
Um, well, Nar is in the lead.
Oh,
Um,
if GTA racing has taught me anything, it means that you don't want the lead early. But that being said, it looks like
that's
Justin
a
and
pretty
Bittner are
big
getting
fucking
weighed
lead,
down by
though.
their costumes.
JV. Oh
Oh,
no!
Nars not giving it up.
Oh
$20
my
gift card,
god!
your choice on the line. We'll
Oh
reach
my
out to
god!
you on Twitter, likely. I
Adam,
might reach out to you personally, but
Adam, this is
20
the
seconds
longest
left.
lead
Oh, big
ever.
shift happening here.
Justin, other Justin.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit! Nar's been in the lead. Bittner.
Oh, it's getting
This
tight
is-
down to the wire now. Five
I
seconds
can't see
left.
the time. I can't see the time.
Here comes the
Adam's
finish
in
line.
the lead. Adam wins.
Oh, man. That was fun. That was fun.
It was fun.
Sweater Weather Man, Adam Reagan, thank you for your support. You won the giveaway. $20 gift card of your choice. We'll reach out to you either on Twitter or via Snapchat since we've got that information. And we'll go from there. Thanks to the loyal listeners. Thanks to all 7 of you who were part of those 20 subscribers. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the retweets.
Let's get more.
Let's see if we can get to 30. Who knows? Maybe another
Probably.
duck race. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how quickly we get to 30. We might have to just
I think duck
crank it
race is
right up
kind
to.
of dope.
Might have to crank it right up to 50. Maybe we do a duck race for some lower stakes. Who knows? We'll reach out to the winner, Adam. We got you. Thanks for tuning in. We might delay a little bit, so if you're listening to this now and haven't reached out to you, I kind of want it to be a surprise when you're watching. So I'll reach out to you over the weekend, or I'll reach out to you over the weekend. Train, any closing thoughts?
No, nope, I don't.
Episode 34, yeah?
It was.
Thanks for listening. Episode 34 of Jux and All Things Sports Podcast, presented to you by Always Boolin. If you're with us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a like. If you're on Spotify, hit the follow button so you get updated when we have new episodes. And don't forget to drop a review. Thanks for listening, and always we'll close it out with the one and only Fist It, boys.